Right guys, so now we are going to be making granola cups for our first practical, and we're going to start with putting our butter into the saucepan. And we're going to wait for that to melt down a little. Just give it a little hand. Might be easier if you cut your butter into smaller pieces. Right, when your butter is almost melted, you're going to add in the sugar and you're going to add in the golden syrup. Now I just squeeze my golden syrup directly, and I squeeze out until I feel like I have a tablespoon, and we've got 2 tablespoons. Keep stirring, keep stirring. And we're just going to stir that until we can see that all the sugar has dissolved. As soon as you see that all the sugar has mainly dissolved, you can turn your heat off. Now you're going to add the oats, add the flour, and add the raisins. Now guys, I'm sorry, there's a mistake in your recipe and it doesn't say to add the cinnamon, but you should add the cinnamon at this stage as well. And then give it a good stir. The nice thing about this recipe is that everything's done in the saucepan, so you have minimal washing up afterwards and you don't have to worry about it. Now you need to stir until you can't see the flour anymore. Make sure that you grab the edges of the mixture and make sure that everything is incorporated and you can't see any of the flour. Okay, so now you're going to take your 2 teaspoons and just clean your wooden spoon, and then the next thing that you are going to do is you're going to use your teaspoons. Right guys, now if you don't have a muffin tin with cupcake cases at home, it's absolutely fine to do it in one of these dishes. It's an oven proof dish, and you are simply going to spoon the mixture into the bottom and then level it out and bake it all in one. You must remember then, if you do bake it in one of these, that you have to cut the squares when they are still warm. If you wait until they've cooled down, you won't be able to cut the squares up. Alright, so please make sure that as soon as they come out of the oven, give them about 5 minutes to cool down and then cut them immediately so that you can get them out of this bowl. Right guys, so now what we need is we need 2 teaspoons, and we're going to do almost exactly the same as cupcakes. I hope you've done cupcakes like this before. We're going to take some of the mixture and we are going to use the 2 spoons to pop them in. If you get anything onto the tray, please take it off, otherwise it'll burn onto the tray and it becomes very, very difficult to wash the tray. Now the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to put one sort of heaped spoon into every cupcake case, and then whatever mixture we have left, we are then going to equally distribute between all the others so that there is the same, or as similar as we can get it, mixture in all the different cupcakes. Right, so once you've got all your mixture into your tin, you are then just going to pat down each of them. Just a little, guys. Don't push too hard. It's just getting them into the cupcake cases. And you don't want them completely flat. And that's done. And then those are going to go into a preheated oven of 180 degrees for about 10 to 15 minutes. Now guys, please make sure that you have an adult with you when you are using the oven or any sharp equipment. Please remember that when you're putting something into the oven, you need to use an oven mitt and you need to use it when you put things into the oven as well as when you take them out of the oven. The reason we do it when we put it into the oven is so that we don't get burnt on the edges of the oven or on the trays inside the oven, the racks inside the oven, sorry. And then when we're taking it out, for obvious reasons, everything will be very, very hot. Please make sure that you have a cooling rack next to you, on top of your counter, ready for when those come out of the oven. Right guys, so these have been in the oven for about 15 minutes and they will still be soft when you take them out of the oven, but I promise you they will harden as soon as they get cold. Right, so now instead of using your fingers or trying to use your fingers on a hot tin, please take a spoon and then you can just slide the spoon in underneath it and then lift them out, and you're going to put them onto the cooling rack. Right, and there we go guys, we have our little tropical granola cups. Please, please, please wait until they cool before you eat them, because raisins contain a lot of sugar, and when they come out of the oven they will be incredibly hot, as sugar reaches much higher temperatures than all the rest of the ingredients. So please make sure that you let those cool down before you eat them. Now the last thing that I want to say to you is, because we're not in school, we won't have exactly the same experience as we would in our classroom. But I want to make sure that you understand that part of this is also the cleaning up and the washing up. So if you're lucky enough and you have a dishwasher at home, then please make sure that everything goes in the dishwasher and you leave the kitchen as clean as when it was when you started making your cupcakes. You also need to make sure that you dry everything and pack everything away, because all of that is part of what we learn in food preparation and nutrition. So if you have any questions, please do log on to our classroom. I will be looking at our comments, and if there's anything that you need, I will be answering questions on there. See you soon guys, and have fun.